Let's go to Buster Olney. Thanks to Mohawk Army Navy. He is at the winter meetings right now. And Buster, let's start with the Yankees here on your home for New York sports because the Yankee fans are dying for some news here. What's the latest on Max Scherzer? Could that soon be reality for the Yankees?
I don't think they're close to doing that. And I mentioned to you before, I don't think at the moment they have an appetite for it. I can't tell you for sure if it never happens. I think it's a case where ownership would have to step up, the Steinbrenner family, and invest in him because I think whenever Scherzer agrees to a deal, the number's going to start with a 2. And that just may simply, be too steep for where the Yankees are right now. So I think it's probably more likely that, they continue on the vein that they have been recently, which is sort of these second-tier moves. Second
tier like an Irvin Santana?
That type of player.
Okay.
As we know, they've been talking with Chase Headley. As we know, they've been talking with Sergio Romo. We're literally waiting to see, if some of these deals come down. At some point, Headley's going to make an agreement with somebody, and I still think the Yankees are the favorites there.
Buster, how weird is it at winter meetings? The New York Yankees organization is being patient, and they're not the ones that are wheeling and dealing. What's the motive behind all of this with Hal and Cashman?
Well, I think maybe the best way to explain it would be think of yourself if you got a bad credit card bill and you're reading the lines on it, and then you go to the store the next time, you're probably not feeling so good about spending big. Look, they're paying the price right now for some of the long-term deals that haven't worked out. The back end of the Mark Teixeira deal, the back end of the CC Sabathia deal, the back end of the Alex Rodriguez deal. They owe Alex Rodriguez $61 million, and they're talking about trying to get him to lose weight, at age 40. So they've got a lot of bad money on the books, which is, I think, part of the reason why they haven't been as aggressive as we're used to.
Buster Olney, thanks to Mohawk Army Navy on the team, live from the winter meetings. Brian Cashman said that he likes Didi Gregorius long-term better than Rollins. Was that a future move because he's younger, defensive guy? What was the deal behind Gregorius and why the Yankees feel like he's so good for them?
Yeah, I think that is, the reason why. I mean, Gregorius is a younger player. I talked to scouts. They feel like the swing is going to translate well in Yankee Stadium. And here's the thing, sort of the dirty secret of the whole thing is that their shortstop play relative to the rest of the sport was so bad last year with the play of Derek Jeter at age 40. Defensively, he was one of the worst. Offensively, he was one of the worst shortstops. And if Gregorius comes in and he is what, the scouts are saying, then just a mere defensive upgrade is going to be better than what they had last year. And he should be a big defensive upgrade. The Yankees talked to Eric Chavez, who was his teammate in Arizona and was recently hired by the Yankees as scout, and asked him about, hey, tell us about Gregorius. And they got glowing reports. And so they feel good about the chance that he's going to help. Now, is he going to be anything close to what Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer, was in his career? No. But in terms of can he help them next year? Absolutely.
Buster Olney, thanks to Mohawk Army Navy on 104.5, the team. And Buster, you mentioned Sergio Romo as a closing option. At that position, the closing pitcher for the Yankees, are they comfortable with Andrew Miller and Dylan Betances and just have those two guys duke it out for this position?
I think they're still going to have that conversation. I mean, one reason why they might want to think about Andrew Miller as the closer is because Betances demonstrated last year, he can give you 5 outs. He can give you 6 outs. And they may not necessarily want to cut into that. But if they decided in the end that they wanted to use Betances as a closer, you know what, that would work too. The Yankees are feeling really good about their bullpen. The reason why I think they're going after Romo is depth and thinking that, we'd like to have as many options in the bullpen as we can. And let's face it, the rotation is not that strong. And if you build up the bullpen, at least maybe you can help the rotation deal with the problems it has.
He's Buster Olney. Thanks to Mohawk Army Navy on 104.5, the team. He's from the winter meetings. Buster, you mentioned A-Rod overweight, says Brian Cashman. We like to call him Fat A-Rod around here. Is there any way, as you wrote a blog 2 months ago saying that if A-Rod came in out of shape, had some injuries, the Yankees perhaps could go after the MLB rule in which they could just not have to pay him in full and just pay the insurance part of it? Is there any way that the Yankees are looking at Fat A-Rod and going, yes, we can actually write this guy off, we might have a chance to save some money here?
No, I don't think it's according to the plans. But I've heard this from other players where they're wondering, boy, how invested is Alex going to be at that age? Is he going to want to play out the contract? There's no telling, but I know this. The Yankees are counting on him for nothing next year. They're not assuming anything about him because of the age, because of the injury history, because of the PD history. And I'm sure that what's going on with his weight now is only an affirmation from their perspective of, look, we have no idea what we're going to get out of this guy.
Buster Olney on 104.5 The Team with Armen and Levack. We're live from Saratoga Strike Zone. Levack on vacation. Joe B in for him. Buster, here in Yankees country, we're keeping an eye on the Boston Red Sox, who have made several moves over the last week. They today bring in Rick Porcello, trading Yoenis Cespedes. Where do the Red Sox stand right now in your eyes? What have they done?
Well, they, of course, lose out on John Lester, which is a big loss for them. Lester was clearly their priority coming here, and they didn't get him. But they have in the last 24 hours. They add Wade Miley. They add Rick Porcello, who's a ground ball pitcher, and this morning they agreed to terms with Justin Masterson. Now, here's the thing. All of those guys are more like number 3, number 4 type starters. The Red Sox really don't have a number 1. They have Clay Buchholz. They have Joe Kelly. It doesn't seem like, unless they go crazy going after James Shields or shock everyone and actually pursue Max Scherzer, which I doubt because he's going to cost more than Lester would have, they may go into next season with a sort of a rotation of those back-end guys. And you know what? When you look at the division, that may be good enough. The Yankees are having their problems. When you look at the division, they may still be good enough because the Orioles have holes. They've lost 2 major hitters in the outfield. Tampa Bay's restructuring. Toronto has holes. The Red Sox, certainly are going to go into next season with some rotation questions. Right now, it's a mediocre division, and even though the Red Sox and the Yankees aren't burning up this winter, may be good enough.
Buster Olney on 104.5 The Team, thanks to Mohawk, Army, Navy, and Buster, the Tigers add Yoenis Cespedes. They are becoming more of a complete team now. They were able to deal Porcello because they have that much pitching. The Tigers, how dominant can they be this season?
Well, certainly when you're talking about firepower, there are going to be days, assuming that Miguel Cabrera comes back, where they're going to light up some pitchers because you're going to have a lineup that's going to go Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and now Cespedes maybe hitting 6. That could be awesome to watch. But I suspect that part of the reason why they may have done this is because nobody really knows what Cabrera is going to be able to do. He had this major foot surgery in October. Right now he's working out. I saw a picture of him the other day. He looks like he's in good shape, but you just don't know when he's going to be back on the field and able to be productive. There's so many moving parts here today. They also acquired Alfredo Simon from the Cincinnati Reds. And, they moved Porcello over to Boston. We'll see if at some point they have not ruled out the possibility that they could get back involved with Scherzer at some point.
Buster, as the winter meetings are wrapping up, what's the big storyline? What's the name? What are you looking for to develop today as news continues to roll out?
Well, I think the reformation of the Dodgers is the big story here because, to have a front office that's been in power about 45 days and to make, I think it's now 11 trades, pieces going all over the place. Andrew Friedman has just attacked this roster, I think, on 2 fronts. One, defensively, the Dodgers last year were really bad. Hanley Ramirez, one of the worst shortstops in baseball. They had Yasiel Puig got a position in center. And Dee Gordon was playing his first season at second base. And so what we've seen during the course of these winter meetings, they go out and they trade for Jimmy Rollins in a deal that's going to be official soon. Who's much better defensively. Howie Kendrick has more experience at second base. And the trade of Kemp to the San Diego Padres now will allow them to play Jock Peterson, who's a legit center fielder, in that position. So they'll be better defensively. And I tell you what, I mean, they were absolutely a miserable group of combination in their clubhouse. And this is part of the reason why they turned this over. I think as much as they're addressing that outfield glut that they had. And they got rid of Kemp, and now they're going to look to get rid of probably one more outfielder. In all likelihood, it's going to be Andre Ethier.
Buster Olney, watch him on SportsCenter. Follow him on Twitter at Buster_ESPN, ESPN.com as well. You can find his great work. And Buster, while you're enjoying San Diego, I'm looking out the window of 2 feet of snow right now. It's brutal. So enjoy the final winter meeting days, my friend.
Armen, this is not an exaggeration. I checked in this hotel on Saturday. I have not stepped outside. So I can't tell you that it's been a great weather here because I have no idea, just being in the hotel lobby.
And I can't tell you I'm surprised by that either. Buster, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.